going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 1209 of FloWrestling Radio, live from Austin, Texas. Just when you thought we couldn't get either fancier or schmancier, take a look at us now in our brand new studio here on South Lamar. To my right, James Dean Rader. We'll take you on a little tour here. To the left, Father John Kozak, as you're taking a look of the part of the studio we're not in, but it looks pretty cool. We might be there sometimes. And we are excited to be here. Look at this.
Look at that.
Look at that fire. That fake fireplace made the move from 301 Congress to here. They said it's foundational to the studio.
Have to have it.
Got to have it. So we're here. Man, great timing. You know, right coming down the home stretch of the NCAA season.
You got to peak, right? That's what we're doing.
We're peaking right now for the postseason.
The only thing that matters is March.
That's right. So we did not want to be here. They said we could be in here in February. I said, nope. That's
Can't peak
too
too
early.
early.
You cannot peak too early. So obviously this is a big show. We're going to be talking about Big Tens at length. They did us a nice favor dropping the most ludicrous pre-seeds of all time. Gave us some great content. Kozak and I got to yap in the Orange Room for a little bit about those pre-seeds. We're going to dive deeper into that. We're going to get into an article in the Des Moines Register. It was Des Moines Register.
No, HawkCentral.
HawkCentral, sorry. By Chad Leistico, who's probably he's the Iowa athletics writer, reporter, journalist. Like, he's the guy. Did an article about Tom Brands, with Tom Brands, interviewing him about the state of the program, the struggles Iowa's dealing with. We will talk about that. But it's still pick'em season. We're going to get into that as well. There's some other things going on. I'm just all excited, JD, because this is kind of your thing. But where do you want to begin, buddy?
Let's do seed talk.
Yeah.
Right? We'll do our preview predictions for the entire Big Ten. But like you said, you and Kozak talked about it, but it wasn't on the show. I wasn't here. Big Ten pre-seeds come out. And we mentioned it because Big Ten pre-seeds, I'll say pre-seeds, because some of them will change.
Yeah.
Came out shortly after we finished Monday's show. And we kind of warned everybody.
Yes.
We were like, hey, they used a new formula. It might spit out some weird seeds. But I don't think any of us expected some of these weird seeds.
Yeah, exactly. And we did try to keep you like, hey, the machines are never going to do as good as humans. And I thought Angelo would be bad. I thought that was going to be a bad seed. And I think I even said 7 or 8 for him. But, yeah, some of them, I mean, you never would have thought that there's no mathematical formula you would think that would spit out Chris Minto over Levi Haynes.
That's kind of the one. Like, that's the glaring one where it's like this formula was not correct.
Because not only did Minto lose to Levi straight up, not only did Levi wrestle his entire schedule, but Minto had losses to Kennedy and Hartzler this year. So it's just crazy that it could even mathematically spit that out. Now, here's what I'll say on this process, and Tom Brands talked really candidly about this. Like, hey, we voted for this. We asked for this. The votes were 12-1-1, 12-4.
Also outed Storny in that interview. He said Storniola was...
It makes him look smart. Yeah. Storniola was the only guy that voted against it. Ohio State abstained, and everyone else said, hey, we want this. So he's like, all right, well, we wanted it, we get it. But what I don't understand is I feel certain if you ran the numbers for last year going into Big Tens and showed them what the seeds would have been, I'm sure there would have been stuff like this that would have happened. And you could say, hey, wait, why are these seeds coming out this way? And then you would realize, when you make it head-to-head again within the conference and conference record of guys in the field, that really punishes starters who wrestle backups. So when coaches don't want to put out their starter against Levi Haynes, which happened to him, I think, 5 dual meets. Mm-hmm. He wrestled 5 backups, which is about, Levi cannot control that. But it hurt Levi. And so that's something that would have been, I think, brought to light beforehand, right? Instead, it happens. And I think WrestleStat gets a little, they're catching the heat for this. I think this was an agreed-upon formula, and they presented, I believe, different.
WrestleStat is like the spreadsheet that's just crunching the numbers.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
They're just like, hey, we have all the data.
They were like, hey, WrestleStat, what formula should we use?
Yeah. They're like, we have the formula, we can do it quickly and put it all together. And so,
Nice to wrestle stat.
yeah.
They've been nothing but good.
that's right.
Yeah.
As wrestling fans.
So I do think they're catching some heat that maybe some of it maybe deserved, but a lot of it may perhaps not.
And I do like punishing somebody who doesn't wrestle a full schedule.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's where this formula messed up, where Levi got punished. He wrestled his entire schedule, but because some of the other stars didn't wrestle him, he got punished. And that's where this went wrong.
Yeah, and I don't think we need to get much more into the weird seeds because we're gonna break down every bracket and we can talk to the Cannon versus Millard thing and to all those. So there's more to talk about.
And just the last thing is, they have a coaches meeting Friday where they will vote, hey, do you all agree or on these seeds? Somebody will say, no, I think Levi Haynes should be higher than Chris Fermento. If they're within 15 points, it's allowed to be changed. It's like NCAAs.
And here's the weird thing. You hear 15 points, it's like, oh, on a scale of 1 to 100? No, but that is what was sort of represented to the coaches, and it was I think discussed hey, 15 points, that's a lot, right? And the Big Ten said, well, yes, but we want more, since this is a new system, we want to have a little more flexibility. In reality, 15 points gives them less flexibility because this is on a scale of up to 1,300 points. So they actually reduced the flexibility instead of increasing it. So I don't know if there was just a lack of understanding from the top on what they were going to be, what was going into these seeds. That's what it seems like to me. So I can imagine this is going to be changed by next year. And some of these will be changed and some of them will not.
I'm interested to see if they stick with formula versus just going back to committee. I know the ACC did formula for 1 year and then was like, nope, never mind, we're good.
Formulas will never do as good as humans with knowledge of what's going on. There's
I do think if you do straight up just human, it should be a committee and not one person.
Yeah.
Oh, for
or even
sure.
two people.
Yeah.
Just two people doing it. Because then you're going to get bias. You're going to get, well, one person believes if you're.
a head-to-head trumps everything, and then
Right.
yeah.
Or, hey, well, this person set out these duels, but we think they're better. But we didn't know. You didn't get the opportunity. If you sit out a duel, I do think you should be punished in some way.
I like the formula in the sense of they're trying to value Big Ten competition and competing in duels. Yeah, really value that, but don't hurt somebody for wrestling backups. And then also value head-to-head wins higher than they're currently valued. They just did head-to-head versus the field. And so, yeah, it gets wonky in that. So I feel like you still use a formula, but also maybe mix the best of both worlds.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know when we'll get official seeds, if we'll get them Friday night or if it's Saturday morning.
We'll get brackets on Friday.
You get brackets Friday?
Yeah,
Okay.
typically.
Love it.
That's when we'll get it.
How fun
But-
is that going to be?
It's tomorrow.
I know. We're flying there tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. But enough seed talk.
Yeah,
Let's get to the actual bulk of it, the wrestling.
for real.
Our picks, we're going to do Big Ten champs. We'll run through them, and then we'll break down each rate a little more in depth. But, Father, keeper of the sheet,
Yeah.
who goes first?
Who goes first?
That's a great question. Give me 1 second because I don't have the sheet up. I have so many other things up right now. Give me a second here. I think
Your
it's.
title's on the line here, Koza.
I know.
Yeah.
I am the keeper.
quick.
I believe that it's JD that has the first pick, but I'm
That's
going
surprising.
to have integrity here like I always do. Yes, JD has the first pick. CP picked last week or 2 weeks ago.
I feel like as I was going through this morning, I feel like the first pick doesn't help that much. Maybe it does, but my first pick, Josh Barr.
That was actually. I had him second, but then as I thought about it, he would be my first pick. Josh Barr. Okay, I'll take Mitchell Messenbrink
Yep.
at 165.
Second pick,
Oh man, come on,
Jesse Mendez.
Jesse. Okay, that would not have been my next pick.
Brock Looms, he's beaten Jesse in the past 12 months, so.
I'm going Levi Haynes for my second pick.
The Minto match being close is why he wasn't.
Minto's got to get to him. Yeah, I think Levi sends a message here.
Levi's for sure favorite. I'm going with my next pick, Shane Venus.
Yeah, that would have been my next pick. Now I think, this point on, I think it gets pretty freaking tough.
There's still one obvious one for me.
Really? Luke Lillidahl.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's
You
my.
could say, his match with Buzakis was close. Buzakis capable of beating him, but there's one clear, you kind of have to pick that guy unless you're like a Nick Buzakis rider.
Yeah.
Now it does get tough.
All right, we're screaming through these. All these Penn State dudes and Jesse Mendez.
Give me Marcus Blaze.
Okay,
Ooh.
this is tough.
It helps that he's the 1 seed.
For now,
Yeah.
that's challengeable.
That one's challengeable.
Yeah. So Lucas could still be the one. Then he has to go through Davino.
And could possibly use Kale's kind of logic. I know he, in his media day, talked about an undefeated national champ, referring to Levi.
Yeah.
But you could also apply that to Lucas Bird.
Yeah, but he's not a returning national champ. He won 2 years ago at 157. Okay. This is where it gets tough. So the remaining weights are 184, 285, and 157. I really,
What are you going to do?
I'm going to pick, maybe left field, I'm going to pick Max McAnally.
I like that.
That was my next one. Down.
I like him away from Angelo and Rocco. I just think from a probability standpoint, I want a guy that I feel confident is going to be in the finals. And I take that confidence, realistically, this is a coin flip match at best, if I feel it's certain he's going to make the finals, which nothing's certain, but feel better than 285 and 157, and I get a coin flip shot, which I feel it probably is, and I might even take. I think Max is just due for his big win this year, and he didn't get the opportunity. Like he didn't get to wrestle Angelo. No Penn State matchup, correct? So we haven't seen him versus Rocco. I think he kind of reestablishes himself as one of the top dogs. Not that needed reestablished, but I think we leave Big Tens thinking, all right, Max is the guy here.
I love that pick. I was a Max rider coming into this year.
Yeah.
He was my NCAA pick. Unfortunately, I sold a little stock
Yeah.
in my head, and now I'm buying it back. I still think at a good price because I think
No one's talking about
public
Max right now.
He's flown under the radar because didn't have the Rocco match because they didn't duel Penn State, and Angelo was out for the Minnesota match, and he's had some close ones Gabe pushed him.
Yeah.
And obviously he lost to
Aiden.
at the beginning of the year, which I feel like kind of immediately put him under the radar.
All right, what are you going to do, buddy?
I'm going heavyweight,
Okay.
and I'm going Tay Gadiali.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I like his trend, right?
Yeah.
Started slow, and now it seems like he's taken back. I
was not going to touch heavyweight unless I had to.
Can you pull up this bracket for me, Kozak?
I don't have the bracket made, but I can pull up the seeds.
Right, because honestly, I should have probably done this and
So
looked at-
Ferrari has to go through Feldman.
which has not been a good matchup.
And
for him,
Keeter or Hopke.
right? And so Tay will have Cole in the semi. If
Super winnable match for Cole. But Cole's got to get by Braxton.
look, and so it's like, do I have faith in Mirasola going through Amos, Tay, and then winner of AJ Feldman? No.
I honestly, if I would have had to pick someone, I might have picked AJ. Even though he's 0-2 against Feldman. I don't know.
It's hard to be a good guy 3 times.
It is.
But the guy that's been his Achilles this year in the semi and then a final. So I like Tay's path, and I like his trend. I don't have faith in Cole yet as a freshman here at the conference tournament, or historically Penn State. I don't want to say lays an egg, but
Yeah, don't say that.
sometimes they there's a reason they have more NCAA titles than Big Ten titles. So,
Yeah.
Tay, obviously not confident, but I also don't want 157.
I do. I want PJ Duke. His path is treacherous. He's going to have Brandon Cannon. I'm pretty sure that one's baked. I don't think you can move Cannon out of the 7. He can't pass Millard. So it'll be like Duke versus Cannon. If he wins that, I think he gets the other Cannon, Webster. I don't know if you can pull that in. And then probably an Antrell rematch. Looms, he should have won that match the first time. That should have been a takedown, and then he probably wins. So it is my last pick, but I'm okay with it. I was between McAnally and PJ anyways, so this worked out great for me. So I think we're gonna add another dub.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, Duke he gets the Voinovich Cannon winner, which is a pretty crazy first round match. Mm-hmm. And then I think Cannon Webster, although Millard's tough and had the injury default win over Cannon, I believe.
Yeah.
Not that matters too much. And then
up top, man, you feel
Antrell is up.
Feel good about Trelly, but look at this. Cam Catcherbone.
Come on.
Chaos Cam Catcherbone?
Chaos Cam. Okay. Where do we want to go next?
Let's start 125.
Yeah.
Kozak made us some brackets here based on seeds, based on pre-seeds. So, a couple of these could change, but we can kind of get into pass and wait and deep dive.
And I will say, I'm going to try to make it work. The bracket generator stopped working at 184.
You're kidding.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a conspiracy or what.
Champions don't make excuses, Kozak.
Yeah.
But, I got some brackets for you guys.
Cool. Okay, so early on, this Peterson-Sotelo, that was an overtime match in round 1. For Luke Lillidahl, getting Dean in your first match, that's a challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does it worry you that Dean Pete just posted a picture of him as a Fortnite character?
That's not concerning. I think that's a fine thing.
Okay.
Guy likes
I'm
Fortnite.
saying that could give him a boost. Does that worry you about taking out Luke Lillidahl?
No, it means literally nothing to me. Other than that, I think it'll be a fun match. And then, really, I think for Luke, it's probably I don't know, man. Jacob Moran is definitely an under the radar guy. He's been tough for a couple of years now, and I think a popular upset call will be Volk over Jacob, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Moran win that.
Troy Volk's the bigger name.
Bigger name,
right? With his freestyle credentials, high recruit. But, yeah, it's just because Troy's taken some weird losses. He's had a weird year. Beat Ventresca twice at national duels. Mm-hmm. He got Brady Rourked. And he took another loss or two in the Big Ten schedule.
Right.
Which is why I got the 5. But I honestly don't see any scenario where this isn't a Luke Lillidahl, Nick Bouzakis final.
Really?
Seems like a collision course.
Yeah, it does. I feel like the bottom side is, if we can look at it, Johnny. Mm-hmm. Nick got the 3, which we talked about in the, why is Spencer Moore the 2 over Bouzakis? Great question. I don't know. This is a guy, for Teen Peterson, he's the one that, if you're like, who was the most aggrieved in this seating, it's Dean. He only lost to Nick and Luke. He beat number 2 Spencer Moore. He did miss time. They hammered him for that. I feel like hammering a guy for missing time is okay, but you have to also have a counterbalance of, the matches he did wrestle, he had high-impact wins. It feels like it's all – because Shane kept saying, you've got to wrestle, you got to wrestle. Okay, I understand that. I appreciate that. I think that is wise. But you have to have some sort of a counterweight for the matches you do wrestle. It can't be totally balanced by taking the mat. If you get some wins, that should – equal the scales to an extent. It feels like it didn't here, giving Dean the 8.
Yeah, definitely didn't. They punished him twice because he didn't have a high record versus the field, and he didn't have a lot of conference duel matches. So, yeah, they definitely punished him for that.
There's redundant criteria for sure.
But they didn't take into consideration that he beat the number 2. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Anything else on 25? Let's move to 33.
No, I think Bouzakis is just a big beneficiary of the seeding. I think from a talent danger perspective, it's all up top, really. So you feel confident. I feel more confident that Nick's going to make the finals than Luke in a way,
Sure.
you know. But I
Easier
feel
path.
more confident that Luke's going to win the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, quickly, we did get a super chat already. First super chat
Let's
in the
go
new
in the
studio.
new
Wow.
studio.
15 big ones. So
Dang.
3 foot long, one for each of us.
This is perfect.
But we're probably going to push the super chat questions until we get to questions, right?
I don't know.
You-
15 minutes is straight to the top.
$15? Okay.
$15, you're straight to the top of the
top?
line. 15 and up, we're going to address it right now.
All right. We'll
Unless
address
they
it.
unless they request to be answered later.
Okay. All right. So Burkhawk for life, $15. Says thank you to all who contribute to rankings. Kozak, Bray are good at questions and showing me I'm an idiot in a nice way. Have you thought about using AI for future rankings with no testing, just for some controversy?
No, I don't think we've thought about that.
Well, we've done it. Like, hey, rank these guys. But
Well, and we do have the
AI
new,
is so bad at
the new like premium rankings where you
Okay.
can go and you can see where you stack up. It's mainly for like high school for
Yeah.
our youth, so they can see like each break it down by state or section or region. And you know, we did actually do some testing because we looked at Iowa high school, and Drayshawn Ross was surprisingly not number 1. And we said, well, that doesn't look right. So we have done it.
Sweet.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, cool. What are they? Do they like the new place? Should we move?
I did have them vote. It was about an 80% vote for they liked it.
Okay,
So
good.
only room for improvement, but a
that
majority.
20% like looking at my toes when I wear sandals, I think.
That's crazy. Bunch of freaks.
Yep.
Speaking of freaks, they're right over JD's shoulder.
There we go.
Look at those. Wait, yeah, those are the new
Down low,
freaks.
down low, we got the freaks.
No, up top, right?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Those are the inflicts.
Yeah.
Might be. All right, 133. One of the weights I am most excited for because how does Lucas Bird stack up in this field? And we don't know because Illinois' schedule this year just did not allow Lucas to hit these guys.
It sounds like Lucas will have the opportunity to move up to the number 1 seed. He was within the minimum threshold. So with that, I mean, that's something where if you're Illinois, you want to argue that because you don't, that path is just, it's you don't want to have to go through Ben DeVino, essentially. It's basically, you have to wrestle 2 Big Ten finals instead of 1. No disrespect to Drake and Zan, but the fact is they have not been as good as Ben DeVino this year. So that's a match you want. Okay, let's say for the sake of the argument, Lucas is number 1. Does that change your pick at all? Are you still saying Blaze?
I would
gets it
still
done?
ride with Blaze. I think just similar to Luke Lodahl at 125, right? Where yes, tougher path, but that's the guy. Like I think when it's all said and done, is going to win.
I feel like the difference between Luke and Marcus is, one, Luke has had separation. It was a little closer with Nick, but it felt like it was going his way. Marcus and Ben felt like dead even.
That's true.
And it seemed like going into the final tiebreaker, it seemed like Ben actually had the
That's
upper
true.
hand.
He needed a reversal.
And Lucas Bird is also there. So I think this is much, there's a lot more danger for Marcus than there is for Luke.
Okay, so here's the question. Should Lucas get the 1 seed as a returning national champ, undefeated, wrestled his schedule, but Marcus Blaze, undefeated, and had a tougher schedule? How much should you weigh the previous year? Because if you just look at these seasons, Marcus Blaze should be the one.
I think last year is irrelevant. I think it should be.
So you think Marcus should be the one?
I think so. I just don't know what last year has to do with anything for this season. You had a whole year to put a resume out there that makes sense. I see a red super chat. I don't know what that means.
$99.99. Oh,
100.
How many furlongs is that?
Is Bezos in our chat
100
right now?
smackaroos.
What?
Straight to the top.
Ryman 11235. He's a rich boy, man.
Dang.
I want to shake his hand.
What did he say?
He said, "Is heavyweight the new 125?" With how crazy the field is, besides Bastida, of course.
I
I mean, there is something to that. Bastida and Trumbull.
yeah. I think definitely
There hasn't been as many, like,
changes at the top.
Right.
How many number ones did we have that one year?
Something like
I think it's,
8?
yeah,
Eight
it was
or
crazy.
nine.
It was crazy.
and
149.
it was like, it was the curse, too, because as soon
Yeah.
as you got number 1, you were going to lose in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. No, I think heavyweight is not as similar just because Younger and Trumbull have they've kind of established themselves as the top 2.
It almost was when Braxton was beating Younger
True.
early in the season.
Yeah.
If he had done that,
If Feldman had beaten Trumbull
Mm-hmm.
and if Braxton had knocked off Younger, then
then yes.
And also
125
remember,
status.
Trumbull didn't wrestle national duels.
Right?
So if he would have gotten there and taken a loss,
Yeah,
then
who
there's
would they
a
have
little more
hit? He would have
chaos.
hit Doucette, Mullen. Who else did NC State wrestle? Yeah, I don't think he would have.
They did Tech twice, right?
Yeah, I don't think he would have. No.
Yeah.
They didn't wrestle Tech twice.
Oh,
Just
Minnesota wrestled
Yeah.
Virginia Tech twice.
once. Holy cow.
This is crazy. Wow.
That was
Okay.
nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So 33.
33. Lucas Bird. What?
I kind of think Lucas might do it.
Here's the thing, though.
Do you think the coaches will acknowledge that? Because I feel like Coach Brain is a little more.
He's a national champ.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So will the coaches vote too? Because that's who will vote on
I think.
if you get to flip.
Well, and Lucas is currently the number 1 ranked consensus at 133.
rank,
In
Right.
our rankings, Intermat coaches, everybody has Lucas number 1. So, I mean, we say throw last year out. It doesn't matter, but nobody's done it for rankings.
Yeah. No, that's true. I'm totally fine with Lucas being the one. That doesn't. I have no issue with that. And so, I mean, it means we
I
get.
do like the idea of promoting wrestle a tougher schedule, which I know
Except-
Illinois didn't make their schedule.
The only one of these teams went to national duels, and one Penn State.
It's true.
So I mean, they tried.
And then the Big Ten makes their schedule. They don't.
And like if Drake was Drake of a year ago, that win looks a lot better. But he hasn't looked like NCAA finalist Drake Ayala this year. It's like you're kind of like a victim of how your guys do after you beat them. Yeah, I feel like Lucas might get it done. I think it's probably my pick.
Okay.
Did you pick Marcus? I love that for us.
All right, 141. Let's pull up this bracket. Kozak,
This Braden Davis Joey Oliveri match is one of the top matches of round 1. I think, and honestly, for Braden, there's no easy way to do this. But man, you got the first 2 takedowns on Brock Hardy.
he was winning when he got pinned,
Yeah, if you can, well, yeah,
right? He was up 7-6. If you don't
Yeah.
take a near fall.
or the takedown, I think. But I mean, I think if you're Nebraska, you're like, dang, this is even Oliveri is a guy he's missed most of the year, missed a lot of time. He's good. Like everyone's like, I think the insiders are like, this is a tough match for Brock either way, for the first round, and that's what we're seeing a lot for these 2 seeds. And it's a byproduct. It's just the Big Ten. That's just how it is. But I think that's an exciting one. If you're looking for like off the wall upset potential for a top seed, Brock's been kind of zany this year, right? I think by his own admission. So you could maybe see that. Who's the 3?
Sorry, I put the 3 in the wrong spot.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay, that's why I was confused.
My bad.
Vance. But if you're looking for a surprise semifinalist, maybe it's Braden or Joey.
Yeah, even finalist, right?
At that point,
'Cause
absolutely.
once you get past Brock,
Yeah.
yeah, you've set yourself up.
Top side, it's the Jesse show. Who would he have? I guess
Yeah.
this is just
Big
seeing the final.
Breaker. What?
He's just massacred. I mean, even Nasir and
Dylan.
Dylan.
I mean, unreal.
It's Cornell Hofstra.
Slaughter. Jesse's so good. And he hooked the boys up with some beats.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I think Tyler put it in the Slack, and he's like, Tyler is like, Jesse really said all my dogs got to eat.
if you didn't see, Ohio State posted, they were doing a team meeting, and Tom Ryan was like, "Oh, this business came to Jesse, and we're like, we want to, give you our product." And Jesse was like, "Okay, but you have to give everyone on the team as well." And then I don't know if this company was Beats or a Radio Shack, RIP, or something like that. But they hooked the entire Ohio State team with Beats.
It's probably Circuit City,
Probably, yeah.
where service is state of the art.
My favorite part of it is this, right?
Look how happy
Tom Ryan.
Tom Ryan. He goes Beats.
I think he's Dwight Schrute.
Dwight
Yeah.
Schrute. Oh,
All right,
nice.
let's look at 149.
All right. Let me pull it in.
Shane Van Ness was my pick. Styles is the 2 on the bottom side. Zargo is the 3. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know why I keep putting them in the wrong space, guys. I know how brackets work.
Maybe.
Yeah. Zargo the 3, Lamer the 6. 4-5, Lachlan, and Carter Young. Carter Young is interesting.
He really is. And this is a way, like, everywhere you look in the brackets, like, that's a tough guy. Michael Joffrey, Ryder Block.
Yeah.
That's a really good first-round match. Carter Young is no joke. Lachlan's,
Maybe the most under-the-radar crazy match of the year was Shane Van Ness versus Carter.
Yeah.
Carter put him on his back.
Yeah.
He scored like 35 or something, or
I think
31.
the final was 31-14 or something like that.
That's
Because
crazy.
After Shane got off his back, it was just takedown, takedown cut,
Yeah.
takedown cut, takedown cut.
It was insane.
But there was a point in time where Carter Young was up 7-0.
Shane loves doing that to the Terps.
That's true. Ethan Miller, NCAAs.
Ethan was majoring him, and then it went crazy mode. Shane does feel like a really big favorite here. He is. From a finals perspective, I mean, it feels like Styles kind of fell off at the end against Zargo, but you want to say, well, he'll hold up. But Zargo's one of those guys who people have a hard. I mean, Ryder Block got really tired against Joey Zargo. That's just kind of a Joey Zargo. That's the experience. So you feel like Ethan. This is the semis are at night. Well removed from the weigh-in. So you feel like Ethan's going to be feeling pretty good at that point. So he would be my pick, top 2 seeds. But
We didn't see Styles Van Ness in the duel.
yeah,
So
that was one. Yeah, I feel like it's just a bad matchup. Like there's some guys that I think match up pretty good against Shane from a just like outside shot. I just don't know how Ethan scores on him.
I don't know either.
Like, and you have to score so
I was
much.
going to say, maybe one.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to take Shane Van Ness down 3 times to beat him.
Yeah. You can't take him down. You have to hold him down. You've got to ride Shane. He's one like Mitchell. You can't have him in your face for 7 minutes. Like, you've got to take him down, and he's got to stay there. You got to take 45 seconds here, 22 seconds there, shorten the match. 7 minutes of that guy, no one's beating him.
I haven't been harping it as much this year, but last year a lot. I was riding how Shane Van Ness is one of my favorites to watch just because of how he scores.
Yeah.
Too. He's so diverse. A lot of times it's not even a shot. It's like upper body stuff. It's cool. He's fun to watch. All right. 157.
57.
Maybe the weight at Big Tens.
Oh, wait. Sorry. That's 165. Give me a second. New studio, guys.
He doesn't know.
New studio.
He doesn't know.
While I pull this in, I was reminded in the chat that
I could see Kozak's tabs. He has 1,000
so
open
many
right now.
tabs. Well, they can see.
They
it.
can see.
That Styles or Van Ness pinned Styles last year at NCAAs in a minute. So give me a second. I had pulled it in earlier, and now I lost it. So I don't know what to do
But
here.
Antrell, the 1. PJ 2. Opposite sides of each other. Who's the 3 and 4?
Cannon Webster's the 3. 4 is not Catchbone. Catchbone's the 5. Is it Anthony White?
There's no way to know. All right, I'll pull in this.
Oh, wait, you just had it.
That was 57?
Yeah. It said Antrell Taylor.
Where? Aha! Look at that.
There. Anthony White.
Sorry, guys. I folded under pressure there.
You did. Melted. So top side, you feel really and maybe my logic on PJ should be similar to my logic with Max McAnally, where I just don't see any scenario Antrell Taylor's not in the finals here. I just don't see it. And so if that's true, and the PJ match is 50-50, which that would be, you could maybe say that's a charitable PJ Duke perspective to say it's 50-50 when he lost the match. I should be on Antrell here. I couldn't say he's going to win. So maybe I'm a little inconsistent in my logic, but I just expect PJ to win this tournament.
Okay.
If I have to pick, I'm riding with Antrell.
I think that's, pragmatically, that makes a lot of sense. And he's got that winning quality. He's tough to pick against. There's no Tyler Kasak in this bracket.
Right.
That was his big kryptonite. And Antrell's he's been good this year. He's been good. He had one bad tournament. Other than that, his wins are, he's our number one, right?
Yeah, for sure.
He's just been out there. And for PJ to have to run, he's got the toughest path to a Big Ten title, I would say.
Of
Right.
any weight?
Probably of any weight. To have to go through Brandon Cannon, Cannon Webster, 2 cannons.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the danger. Yeah. Then a national champion. I think that's tougher than Blaze's. If Blaze gets the 2, I think this is the gauntlet of gauntlets. And maybe I'm a fool to pick him, but
Yeah.
here I go.
If it's not Duke or Antrell, who is winning at 157?
It's got to be Cannon.
Brandon Cannon.
'Cause
Or we could
assuming
just
he's
say
healthy.
yeah. And I do feel like, I don't know, man, when you miss this much time,
Something's off.
something's off. And I just can't believe you're going to be the same guy until I see it.
Yeah.
That's the same reason we're not picking Angelo. If you have to miss this much time, and the only time you show up again is when you have to show up or your season ends, there's going to be a lot of doubt.
That's fair. Okay. 165?
165.
Sorry, I got to find it again.
The question is basically just, no, okay, I'm not going to skip past the semifinal of Blaze versus
For
Caliendo.
sure. Yeah, now they hilariously had Mikey as the 2 seed over Blaze, who is undefeated and beat Caliendo. Nuts. But other than that, they're probably going to wrestle.
You also feel like that one doesn't matter.
Well, I would say I would much rather wrestle the Barbosa Goebel winner over Braden Scholes. That feels like
Sure.
I want the 2 in that scenario. And so I think Joey Blaze should get it. I hope he does. And yeah, as far as who wins, it feels like I don't know what my pick would be. Probably Caliendo to get that one back.
You think Caliendo over Blaze?
I don't know. I mean, I liked him against D. Lockett. I think that was a down part of his. I think the Blaze loss. I don't think he underestimated Joey at all. I don't think anyone's underestimating Joey after what he did last year. But I think getting the opportunity to wrestle him, I think, helps Mikey and understand, wait, he's really good here. The re-attack game's really strong. You can't really let Joey lock his hands on your leg because he's going to finish. And I think this is a classic. They split here, and you get the rubber match at the tournament.
Okay.
That's why I'd like to see that.
I hate that. I think Blaze is a bad matchup.
Yeah.
Caliendo.
I mean, he really took him down twice if you
include the one they didn't call.
if you include reality.
Right. Joey's he's good. I underestimated how good Joey Blaze truly was. Even after he made NCAA finals last year, I was kind of like, he's still really good, but okay, it wasn't the deepest weight, there were some upsets. Okay.
I thought that weight was insane last year.
That's the real deal.
It was just a crazy. I mean, you said Kasak was supposed to win that weight.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, and Meyer Shapiro was there. I thought it was a good weight. It was just.
It was a good
It was
weight.
just a screwy round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't have to hit, what was his path to the finals last year?
Who? Joey?
Yeah.
Well, he had to beat Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
And then he beat. Who did he beat in the round before? I can't recall.
But I thought it might have been one of those.
Yeah.
I want to shit on like Sheldon Seymour, but like, all right, you beat Luke Liddell. Are you gonna like be able to repeat that?
He had
kinda
Chumbley.
The bracket got blown up because Cannon lost and Hippolito, the 4-5 lost. And so Blaze went through Askey, Kasak, and then Chumbley.
And then lost in the finals.
We were all over that Hippolito one, though.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. I will say There's an Instagram reel out there of me saying that Joey Blaze is one of the most underrated guys coming into this season, only because he was a true freshman, did an All-American, then makes the NCAA finals in a way where no one expected him to make it. And he's a guy who went right away, and we've just seen him get better and better and better, even like in freestyle as well.
Joey Blaze is now on my radar.
There you go.
No, like I said, he's really good.
Mitchell taking it though.
Yeah. No, nobody's.
I'd like to see him test it. I think that'd be fun. Like to see.
He is singing more.
Yeah.
I need to hear the Mitchell Messenbrink originals.
Yeah. What if you?
No more covers. No more.
The
karaoke.
boss move is to walk out to your own song. That would be crazy.
Be cool.
You could change the game. If you're listen, the Hodge Trophy vote, it comes down to fractions of criteria. If you have your own walkout song that you authored,
and
it could be the difference.
And listen, his mentor Ben Askren, he was big on hustling, selling T-shirts and stuff. He went NCAA title. Think about this: you walk out to your own song, and then afterwards you say, "Hey, hit single out right now."
It just dropped.
Right after you win an
A
NCAA
walkout
title.
song just dropped on Spotify.
I mean,
Take a page out of the U.
just be printing money. Just printing money right there.
Yeah, come on, Mitchell. We want to see it. We want it, but more importantly, we want to hear it.
Yeah.
All right, 174. Did you change Levi and Minto's seeds in here?
Yes, because I had the power to do that in my bracket generator.
Yeah.
I changed. Yeah.
You have the power to make Connor O'Neal's name not look
I don't know. I don't know that.
That's power you've not
limited.
yet attained.
Yeah, limited power.
And what's a trademark?
Yeah.
What now does? I wonder. There's no way Kennedy is within 15 points of Minto, who's to 1, right?
I wouldn't say there's no way. I don't think he is. I think we're just going to see Levi and Chris flip.
Okay.
But you never know. And I don't, arguing the 2-3. I think the 2-3 is worth arguing. Everyone's like, it's a semifinal. It's like, well, at the Big Ten championships, the 6 versus 7 can be sometimes worse. Like sometimes you get Brandon Cannon, but it's totally matchup dependent. I think the Harchla Bowman quarter, that's a really fun one. That was a close match last time. Carson won. Kennedy, can you go down a little, boss? Kennedy Gilcher. So it feels like Kennedy, the 3 seed's kind of locked there. Yeah. Could get a Minto-Pinto match, but man, Lenny's just not been.
He's not the same.
Not been Lenny.
No. He needs the power of corn.
He's not corn-fed.
He's back home.
Over there in Jersey.
He's back home.
He's eating pizza.
Too much pizza.
Too much pasta.
And he's a 74 now. It's too much home cooking. I don't know what it is, honestly.
And how do you see the Kennedy Minto?
Crazy close. Super, super competitive match. Just like the Kennedy Minto, Harchla, triumvirate. And really, you could throw Bo in there, though I think even though he beat Patrick, I feel like that's a Patrick matchup. I think.
Do you see this one going like Blaze and Caliendo at 65, where they flip again here and then rubber match?
I could see Minto getting this one over Kennedy. That would probably be my pick.
That was my pick in the duel, and Kennedy won. So, but super close. I thought Minto was a bad stylistic matchup for Kennedy. I thought he'd be able to out-scramble him.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't.
No.
In fact, Kennedy kind of out-scrambled him, if I remember correctly. So I would probably pick Kennedy. For that reason, Minto will probably win.
Yeah.
To make me look silly, as often happens. But, yeah, I don't have a good read on that semifinal. It does feel like a 50-50
Right.
type matchup, just to probably lose to Levi because he is slaughtering everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 184.
Sorry,
Dang.
guys. I was not able to get the.
This is where it stopped.
Couldn't fix
where
it.
it stopped. Yeah.
It's okay. We can do it. We can do some mental math. So Angel will have Sam Goen, who is pretty tough actually. That's not a walkthrough. And then Angelo would hit Rocco for his very first match. Rocco's first match will be against Angelo Ferrari. This was a match that basically had no separation in the dual meet. Sometimes, like, at least Marcus Blaze got a reversal in his and wrote him out. This was, just came down to seconds. Now, we haven't seen Angelo since. I don't know how Angelo scores. He was not really close on any takedowns against Rocco Welsh. So I have a hard time picking him. Then again, it's probably another overtime match, if we're being honest.
Why you could pick Angelo, if you want some logic in this pick, is this is the match he got hurt. And we think he got hurt in regulation.
Right.
So then he rests up for 6 weeks or 7 weeks, however long he's been out. Now, 7 minutes, full 100% Angelo, he'll find one in the third.
Yeah.
That's if you want to logically pick Angelo, or if you're a Hawkeye fan, feel free to take that logic when you're making your pick, rather than just, I think Angelo's going to win, he's a gamer.
Yeah.
Which I think is also true. Angelo's a psychopath gamer. That being said, I think Rocco is as well.
Yeah. As far as if you're looking for a surprise finalist, I think Dylan Fishback's interesting. Just because he's wrestled Max Tough this year. Took him to overtime. Maybe twice. Maybe I'm making that up. Definitely once. All Red's there at the 3 for sure. Always a hard out. But yeah, the bottom's interesting as well. It's not just the top side that's going to have some heat. The bottom half of that bracket's really, really good.
Yeah, Fishback and Allred split this year, and Fishback lost to McAnally twice in overtime, as you said.
I think this is actually my way to Big Tens. I'm most excited for.
Really?
Full top to bottom weight.
Okay.
The Blaze, Bird, Davino kind of trio. If I only get to see one final, it might be 133. But I think if I only get to watch one bracket, it might be 184.
That's fair.
Okay.
Back on 184. 97. Josh Barr. Is this a coronation?
It's a coronation. This happens every once in a while, and even at Big Ten weights, where you're like, wait, what? What's going on? 197, just sort of. It's how many All-Americans do you think we get out of this field?
2, if I have to put money on it.
3 would be like, man.
Who's the third?
Gabe,
Right.
Branson, John, Remy. I don't know, man.
McDaniel is an All-American.
It feels like you would set the bar. I would set the bar at 1.5.
That's fair.
So, and when you take one of the most dominant wrestlers and you drop him in that weight class, it's going to be
Bonus time.
Yeah, bonus through the tournament. I think, although against McDaniel, I remember that being, it wasn't competitive in that you wondered who was going to win, but I remember did he not blow him out to the degree maybe we thought?
Did he give up a takedown late? Maybe.
Maybe. It ended up being a pretty good match.
McDaniel was 21-9.
Pretty good match.
Pretty
So
good.
bully me down. Now,
Sollers was 14-6.
Major,
That's his closest match.
can Gabe keep it close? Because he keeps it close against everybody.
So he has Branson John first from Maryland. Branson's having a nice year. I think Gabe could definitely win that match. And then he would have Geog after that.
That'll be a one takedown match.
The odds of Gabe getting to Bar, man, if Gabe gets to Josh Barr, that would be a pretty freaking epic day, honestly. Because he's winning 2 matches, he's probably a slight dog in both.
Has Gabe ever been bonused in his college career? I don't think so.
He's been pinned. He got pinned by D'Anthony Parker.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Pins don't count.
I have something to show
That's
you.
Ben.
though.
They're not more dominant.
Oh, you want to show me something?
2022-2023 high school rankings, 170 pounds.
There you go.
Yeah.
All you need to know, Gabe Arnold ranked number 1 over Rocco Welsh, Josh Barr,
Who's number 1?
Angelo Ferrari.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Angelo was up that high then?
Crazy, right?
He never.
Look at some of the other guys in here. Simon Ruiz.
Dang, this weight's crazy.
Ty Ice. Woj.
Chris Moore.
Shout out Woj.
Yeah. Ryan Burton.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
All right. Now heavyweight. Another insane Big Ten weight.
And we don't have the bracket for this one either.
No, there's no way to know.
No way to know.
But we kind of mentioned it earlier. Mirasola is going to have to go through Braxton Amos, who's the 5 probably, then Tay in the semis, then the winner of AJ Feldman, if seeds hold.
I think this is the weight with the most possible champions. I would.
That's fair.
There's not many where I'd say there's like 3 or 4. Like, I think Tay, AJ, Nick, Cole all have very game shots. If Braxton goes on a run, he hasn't done that yet this year, but he's been in so many matches. It's not unreasonable.
And then you got Keeter at the 10.
Keeter at the 10 making some chaos too.
Right? Even Hopkey
even
at the
Hopkey,
7.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Ben's first match. So I think there's a lot of guys that could win this. I didn't say that for many weight classes because there's just some excellent dominators. But this one, I feel like we could get a out of left field champ.
That wouldn't surprise me. I agree.
Yeah,
This way's going to be chaotic.
for sure.
All right. That was our Big Ten preview, predictions.
Indeed.
Not ready to hop off the Big Ten just yet. I want to talk a little Iowa. You brought this article to my attention. You mentioned it at the top of the show. But on HawkCentral, they interviewed Tom Brands. They interviewed the Iowa AD, and it's a very interesting, very kind of revealing article. Tom really opened up in this article about what's going on at Iowa, the trends at Iowa, what fans have been saying. Did this article surprise you? And if so, what about it surprised you?
It did surprise me. The timing surprises me because, regardless of, I just think the content was largely it's just kind of a negative story, right? The story is about, you have Tom Brands on the record saying this is the worst year of my career. So the time it feels like something that makes more sense at the end of the season to me. Just because it's like, well, wait, what about Big Tens and NCAAs? Like, that still is yet to come. So it did surprise me. I feel like Chad did a great job in that he hit all of the things that people are talking about. He hit on every single one of them. He hit on the attack rate, right? How the guys are wrestling. They're not the aggressive Iowa style seems to be removed. Portal questions, the guys they've gone after and have not performed. Health and injuries were a big theme. Season ticket or ticket attendance was a theme. Recruiting. So he hit on all the things. The answers are what is most interesting. Like, it sounds like, the thing that stood out to me is the portal discernment, right? Where it's like, he said, when I'm talking about the portal, I'll just read the quote. We've got to do a better job of looking at who those guys are, not just who's in it. Who are these guys? What's their lifestyle like? And go from there in a thorough way. To me, that seems like very self-evident from the start, not a revelation you make, after, well, wait, these guys, and especially when you factor money into the equation, when these guys aren't coming to be champions necessarily, when you guys offer the biggest paycheck, the human response is like, okay, well, we need to make sure that that's not why these guys are coming here. They're coming here because they want to be champions. They want to be Iowa Hawkeyes. And so it's just, and I'm not saying that's not a conclusion they reached beforehand, but it seems like he's bringing up now, like, okay, this is something we got to do a little better job of. And yeah, I think it's obvious. And it's also obvious that the portal is a huge aspect of their long-term plans.
And, I found it interesting. There's always a discussion of our brands on the hot seat.
Right.
And in the article it said, not this year, but it basically admitted seats warm. The Iowa AD said if there's another downward trend next year, like there will be discussions happening.
Yeah, and they talked about the Hawkeye Wrestling Club as well, and kind of like they compared the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club room to the Hawkeye Wrestling Club, and it's pretty different. Especially when you list Brandon Sorensen and Jesse Ibarra on there. These guys are not competitors. So, you know, Tom was asked about also staff, like, hey, is that something you're going to look at? And I feel like you didn't get I feel like that's not being considered because Tom said, I look at that every year. And he's reached basically the same conclusion every year. So I feel like next year I don't expect many changes going into next season based on this. What stood out the most to me, and not a surprise, but because we kept getting the attendance numbers, right? And they were pretty good. They were all over 10,000. But what they did was they filed something where they got the actual ticket scans for each one, and it showed 6,700 was the average, and that's a 22% drop from last year. That tells you a lot about the product and how Iowa fans view the product. It's like, this is not one we want to watch, and that's a shocking, of the numbers in here, that's the most shocking one, I would say.
That one was shocking. To kind of bring it back to, you know, changes being happening and brands being on the hot seat, and it's kind of like we've already looked ahead towards next year, and this article mentioned it too, that you're going to have to hit the portal to have and do well in the portal, you know, to perform to the level that they're at this year.
Yeah.
Because they're losing some of their top guys this year.
Yeah, when you lose Dean, Drake, Caliendo, Kennedy, that hurts. That hurts. And Dean's already gone. And so you basically have to have a very successful portal to stay top 10, right? These are just not the conversations that you typically have around Iowa wrestling. They talked about Bob Nickal as well, like just like the support of him as a donor. And, you know, that he is essential to them being able to bring in the pieces they've been bringing in. So it's
that is a wild thing. This, like, if you would have said that 10 years ago, I was like, man, we got this great supporter, and you like name him by name, and like that.
He pays all of the guys.
It's just crazy, yeah, how college wrestling's changed.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. It's changed a lot.
And Tom did say changes need to happen and will happen. They mentioned how they train and, you know, the autonomy guys have. They said people think we just run these guys into the ground. We don't. They have a lot of choice when it comes to their training and say, and there's communication there. And so it's a very revealing article.
I've heard dozens of anecdotes about how you would be stunned at the training output for Iowa. It's not what you think it is. It's not as much as you think it is. They're on the lighter side. Alums that have been around the program for years are like, no, we've never done less in a way. Like, they're not overtrained. They maybe, I mean, are they undertrained? I don't know. But I don't think the injuries are related to overtraining. There's something that could be going on, but I don't think I think the narrative of them running the guys in the ground, I don't think that's what's happening here. There's something else that has led to the. Also, like, when you have so many guys that you don't have that familiarity with, and you're stacking like building pieces, you're like, this first year for Dean Peterson, you're just getting to know the guy, right? Like, these guys, wrestlers aren't just cogs that you can just plug into a machine and they all work the same because they weigh a certain amount. Like, we're seeing that all over the place, not just Iowa, right? Like, Christian Carroll's having his best year at Wyoming. Jory Volk is not having his best year right now. Lenny Pinto from Nebraska to Rutgers and vice versa. Like, you don't just get the same stuff when you bring a wrestler over. There's something to that familiarity in the training, and I don't know. I think that's a big challenge. I feel like if you had Nasir and Jordan, I'll say this. I feel like if you had Dean, Nasir, and Jordan, day one Iowa Hawkeyes, I bet their productivity is better than what we're seeing this year. I feel strongly in that. And I feel like that would be true for those guys largely anywhere they went. I feel like I feel like there is an advantage to being at a place and coming up in that and building on a set program instead of switching year to year. I think that hurts. I think that's hurt Jordan Williams. It's his third team. I don't think that helps. And he's been at 3, I would say, really strong programs. He's been at Oklahoma State. He's been at Little Rock. He's been at Iowa. I think really highly of all 3 programs. And I think sticking it out has a benefit. It's certainly helped Patrick Kennedy. I think we've seen Kennedy improve over the course of his career. And he was a huge recruit. Don't misunderstand me. He was probably someone you said this will be a national champion. I don't think he's going to be a national champion, but he's had a really, really strong career for Iowa. So I don't know. I think there's the timing of this, I will say, did surprise me. But I think Tom maybe feels like the products.
Do you think
people deserve?
He owed this to the fans.
Yes, and I think he talked about, like, this is a guy, he won't tell you anything. You know, from an injury perspective, you get pretty similar rhetoric thing. We like our guys. We believe. We think we have the team here. We've got to score more points. We've got to attack more. And you just kind of heard this pattern of rhetoric from Coach Brands for a long time. And I think maybe he felt like, Chad is someone you can trust, and felt like the fans needed to hear something else.
He actually mentioned that too, being more candid with fans, and that's a change they have been making and are going to make, which obviously I appreciate.
You know who's been more candid than ever this year, maybe a little last year? Kale. I mean, he ripped these pre-seeds. So did Tom, which normally you don't to bring Kale out of.
Kale's ripping is funny.
Yeah, the way he does it.
Well, it's just like, so.
Could we just not do this?
Yeah.
He's like, wait, do we have to? Do we have to accept this? But no, I thought if you actually read his words out loud, his delivery versus the words.
Right.
The words are a lot stronger than he kind of delivers it in a calmer way. But I would say Kale has been extremely candid, and not just by comparison, not just compared to the Kale of old. I would say I put his candor up there. It's not Kevin Dresser, Tom Ryan, maybe even David Taylor level, but you get a lot there. There's real benefit to listening to what Kale says.
Yeah, it's an interesting time in college sports as a whole.
Yeah, it's been great.
I thought the Brands article, it showed a lot of maybe self-awareness that people were questioning. It was like, well, do they know
Yes.
what we're saying? Do they have their finger on the pulse of what's going on? And even it reminded me also of Ben's assessment of what he thinks about the Brands brothers, Ben Askren, and they did address communicating, where Ben's like, hey, these guys, he's like, I think they're good men, but there's certain things where they're falling short. And so I do see it as they acknowledge, they're self-aware, they know what's going on. And so there wasn't I think the most surprising part of the article was that they acknowledged all these things.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay. And then the question is just okay, well, is anything going to change? That's really what's important is are more fans going to show up? Are they going to wrestle a more exciting style of wrestling? Are their portal guys going to take a jump to the next level, or are they going to flake out? I think that's okay, what's going to happen next year? Yeah, that's kind of where my mind goes.
Yeah.
All right. Other news in the state of Iowa. Iowa State, the next Division I women's program.
That would be
Maybe.
sweet.
Sounds like there's actually a decent chance. Iowa State canceled their women's gymnastics program, but they said that they will add a women's sport with as many or more scholarship opportunities, which wrestling would fill. They already have women's tennis and I believe swimming and diving, and obviously your major sports like volleyball and basketball. So,
yeah, that's cool.
Whoa!
What?
Breaking news!
What?
Evan Frost
Yeah.
out for the postseason.
Yes.
Holy cow!
Yep.
Did it say with what? Obviously, he's been gone for several weeks. Did it mention
I don't know. I just opened up Twitter, and that's the first thing I saw.
Yep.
Sheesh. So
Dang.
Garrett Grice in.
Grice is tough. Obviously nowhere near Frost. Cyclones, injury bug.
Yeah.
Again, not as bad as last year.
No.
Obviously.
Well,
hurts.
we haven't got to the end yet.
That's true.
No one saw coming what happened last year at NCAAs for
True.
Iowa State.
Garrett Grice has 5 matches on the year. He's 3-2. Losses to Marcel Lopez, teammate Carter Pearson. Wins over Gage Walker, Julian Farber, Devin Bobzian.
How many did Big 12 allocate?
I don't know.
I dare you to look that up.
Double dog.
All right, let's see. I am on Flow Wrestling. What the heck?
Come on. Buddy.
Okay. Big 12's 8 at 133. So it's going to be probably
7
now. I would imagine Frost was one of them.
I would think, although Frost missed a lot of time this year, but he probably had enough. So that almost assures Larkin.
Ooh, I don't know.
What is he?
He's 12-1. His last match was Jan 25.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
To get coach's rank, you have to have had a match in the past 30 days.
And then RPI, you need
15.
15 matches, so he doesn't have either of those. So
Might not
I
allocate.
don't think he
So
allocated.
it could still be 8.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, unfortunate.
Very. We did get also NCAA commentators. Were announced, I believe, no DC this year.
He said he wasn't doing it.
After calling out Lucas and his girlfriend,
That was
We're gonna do
great.
that moment. Again, it'll be Mike Cousins on play-by-play, Rock Harrison and Jordan Burroughs as analyst, and no Trent on MatCast. This year it'll be Austinite Mike McMullen
Oh, yeah.
with Shane and Sean Kenny and Tim Johnson on the ESPNU.
Cool.
So, other thing I had in here in the rundown, Bo Nickal was talking about college wrestlers getting paid.
Yeah.
He said, nowadays, college wrestlers are making $100,000 to $400,000 per year.
Yeah. We know this is true. They're making a lot of money, for sure.
And he said that's conservative.
I don't think it's conservative.
That's what Bo said.
I mean, I think there are some at 500.
That some are making over 7 figures.
Not he. If you listen, he kind of like went along with that. He said, the guy's like, so guys say 7 figures a year. He's like, there's 7-figure deals out there.
But
Meaning,
not per year.
no one in college wrestling making $1 million a year, other than like Kale and David and. Like, yeah.
Do you want me to play? We can play videos with audio now. Do we want to test
Let's
this
do
out?
it. This
You
is
wanna
like
see what
the big
happens?
of all the glitz and glamour of the new studio. The HDMI thing with although I can't hear it, so
more money today than
I
they
gotta
were,
plug
'cause
in the
I
thing.
saw Daniel Cormier say that,
Dude.
like some college wrestlers are making 100 to 400K a year, and then he's saying more than MMA fighters. Is that how much?
For
is
sure,
that?
bro. For
Is
sure. These
lot
kids
more?
are balling out of control, bro. Like, so I graduated in 2019. NIL, all that wasn't a thing. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't start until maybe 21, 22-ish. And so, now it's like in full swing, and these kids are making bank. Like, those numbers that DC gave for like a top-level college team are like pretty conservative.
Really?
Yeah.
Any college wrestlers that are making 7 figures a year?
Like, I
Including
mean, I've heard of
brand
I've heard of
deals,
7-figure deals. Yeah,
Wow.
I've heard
Okay.
of those. Yeah,
That's insane, bro.
yeah, it's
What
insane.
do you think about that, Grant?
Hopefully
Oh,
you can
man,
you
it's-
can hear that.
Makes you want to go back to
We
school.
were just
right?
quiet for
yeah,
I'm like,
No,
a minute.
yeah. I don't think anyone's making $1 million a year, but I think they can sign long-term agreements that are, even though I thought it's NIL supposed to be year to year. I don't know if there's actual rules,
knows?
to be honest. But yeah, this just in, they're making money.
Man, we got a whole bunch of super chats coming in, guys.
Well, it is
Quickly.
10-10.
Quickly,
All right.
before we get to
Run
the
it
super
down.
chats, I do want to shout out Women's Nationals is this weekend. Everything will
That's
be
right.
on ESPN Plus, and then also the finals will be tape delayed on ESPNU. I think Jordan Burroughs is on the finals.
And Sarah.
And
Sarah Hildebrand.
on finals commentary.
I don't like that they're tape delayed.
But you can watch them live on ESPN Plus.
Okay.
All right.
It's just they
That's
will be
fine.
shown tape.
All right, I'll allow it.
We're back in.
Before we get to questions, I want to say on Friday, March 20th, Flow Wrestling, and Nike Wrestling are bringing together a select group of partners and friends for a private evening just steps from the action at Terrace Hall inside Progressive Field. That's where NCAAs are going to be. Doors open at 4 p.m. in between sessions. It's going to be dinner, athlete appearances, and a live FRL. A DJ is going to be there. We're going to have a DJ set and access to exclusive Nike Wrestling shop features and merchandise. And you can attend, but you have to RSVP. This is limited.
Yeah, very limited.
So the link is in the description. If you're watching live right now, if you're watching delayed, it might already be filled up, but we will put the link in the description wherever you're listening. So go sign up, RSVP. It's going to be an awesome event. NCAA is always awesome. We're trying to partner with Nike and just make an awesome event, and it's going to be really, really cool. So go sign up.
Yeah, this is going to be sick. Would really love to meet you guys, and doing a live FRL is going to be cool, but space super limited, so do it right now, even though maybe you can't. Can you?
Yes.
The link is in.
It's in there
the
now.
Description right now.
This isn't even like for the post. Okay, got it.
yeah.
It's there now. Do it.
There right now. How are we going to decide?
In the meantime, go buy some
Nike
some
Freaks.
Nike
is it
Freaks,
first come first
athleteps.com.
serve? Do people that sign up early, they get preference? How are we deciding?
I'm not 100%
We're-
on all
yeah.
that. All I was told was, here's a sign-up link, space is limited, tell people to go sign up.
Yes.
Make your case for why you should be.
And Lineup Legends is back too, right?
Lineup Legends, today's March 5th, right?
Yeah.
Yes, today is when Lineup Legends starts. So go when they're just throwing money around.
Yeah.
Literally tens of thousands of dollars you can win. They also have sign-up links. There'll be more information on that coming. But yes, Lineup Legends is back to make your NCAA predictions.
So
Lots of money.
that was one of the questions. It was a $2 question. It said WrestleStat official tourney pools this weekend. So I don't know what that means. I think it's some kind of
pick 'em.
pick-em contest. So yeah, do that. But also, if you want to win some money,
Serious cash.
Lineup Legends for NCAAs.
Lineup Legends for NCAA. So yeah, get a warm-up. Do the WrestleStat, tourney this weekend. Do that. Do Wrestle Madness. We love all the fantasy, but
We do.
if you want to make that bank,
And you should also go buy Jason Bryant's Almanac. Use code FRL to do your research
That's true.
for this product.
we're just
Lineup Legends.
pumping products.
See if you can beat my son.
Sheesh.
It's tough.
He's hard to beat. I don't enter his contests. He gets a lot of. He's a Wrestle Madness OG. So beat him.
All right, Kozak, read us those super chats, then we'll
All
get
right.
to our Twitter questions.
Super chat $4.99. Augie 2008. He says here. I'm gonna pull this in over.
Oh yeah, it's no problem these days.
Oh, I gotta share my screen. Different workflow for me here.
One of our questions was like, what's the, what are some of the new features of the new studio? This is the best one we have is that, not that you guys probably care, but like we used to have to do this kind of convoluted thing to show Kozak's screen, and it would mess up the video quality and you couldn't play audio.
Yeah.
Now we just have an HDMI into his computer, so we can
I have so much more power.
hack his mainframe, we can see his bookmarks.
Yeah, I have so much more power. It's amazing. Yeah, look at those.
Look at that.
Boards.
Wow, we're getting in tight on the HDMI ports.
I
This
broke
on the
it
screen
yesterday.
right here.
Wow.
I did break it.
Yeah, Kozak immediately broke his
We're
HDMI.
back. Just got too excited. I couldn't handle it all.
Yeah.
All right, Augie, 2008, $4.99. Who do you think would be more likely to win a title? Jesse Mendez at 133 or Mitchell Messenbrink at 157?
Dang.
Both Ben DeVino and PJ Duke still exist in this alternate reality.
Give me Messenbrink 157.
I think so. I think Mitchell could go 57. Like, I don't think he's that big. So I'd probably pick Mitchell, but I don't know. Yeah. Good question.
When Jax exists, who knows?
Yeah, right?
All right, Burkhawk again is back.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
I forget what he gave earlier. It may have been, I think it was $15. He's just slinging out 3 footlongs at a time. Can you see NCAAs finishing as Penn State, Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech as early as next year if Melvin goes early in college? Too soon? Can Okie State challenge Penn State next season?
I think your top 3 is not necessarily too soon. I don't think that's a shocking top 3 when you consider Eddie Seidel, Bo Bassett, Caleb Henson, Melvin Miller, just off the rip.
They might not even need Melvin to finish third. That's a good team.
It's a really good team. And their back half's not bad with Jimmy and Sasso are back. So not too soon. Can Okie State challenge Penn State next season? So they're going to get Drayshawn at heavyweight. Because really, Oklahoma, it's tough to say. Because what do they do 33, 41, 49 next year? I don't know. Does Jack stay down? Does he go up? Does Vega redshirt? If you have to redshirt Sergio Vega, that means you don't have Sergio Vega. And Penn State loses Levi. Insert Will Hinkle likely, or maybe Cunningham. I'm not sure if he's a 74. I don't think so, but it's going to narrow. It's going to be more of a conversation. I still think the way you have to win, what you have to do to win now compared to what you could do to win in 2022 and before is so different.
We were talking about that when we were discussing the article before the show, where Brands said you need 10 guys and their backups to be on such an insane level. And I said, when you think about the Brands' heyday at Iowa, quote unquote, your 2008 or 9, 10, that run, they would just have holes in lineups where they wouldn't even qualify.
Right.
Wrestlers, right? I don't think there was one year in there where they brought all 10 guys to the national tournament.
I think so.
And that is just not the case anymore. To beat a juggernaut like Penn State, you have to have multiple champions above, I'll say 7 All-Americans, right? Probably with a couple champs and probably the other 3 guys not getting you 0 points. So it's insane now the level.
You got to
that
have
the
a super
team's at.
team. You got to have a super team.
And we were going through NCAAs yesterday, like looking at some of the years, teams won with around 100 points.
Iowa scored 96 in 2009.
Yep.
And won.
Yep.
It's different now.
I think they either had 4 or 5 All-Americans, no champs.
Yeah, 1 finalist.
It's crazy.
That's like barely even a trophy team
Right.
now. Okay, another question bouncing off that. In the next 5 years, I'll even open up outside of Oklahoma State. Is there a national team champion crown that is not Penn State? Next 5 years. And if no, how far back do you have to go before you would say yes?
Next 5 years. Do I have to count this year?
No.
Okay. I'll say yes.
In the next 5 years.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma State will win an NCAA title in the next 5 years.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not as sold.
Something's got to happen.
Penn State's not going anywhere.
No, they're not. Yeah, they're not. They're not. I know. They didn't go anywhere. They didn't go anywhere the years they lost either. They were still the best program. It's just you don't win every year, even if you are the best program. But there is a chance it's not it's very possible that they just keep winning every year.
It's kind of, I don't know if sad is the right word, because it's cool to get these mega teams and these dynasties, but there's something to be said about those years we were looking at where you have 5, 6 teams all kind of
Right there.
like have a legitimate shot going into the national tournament at winning. And now, even if it's Oklahoma State or Virginia Tech, who will inevitably knock off Penn State one of these years, it's going to be a two-horse race going in there, right? And just a big drop-off for third. And that's kind of, I don't know.
Is the
sad.
longest consecutive champ streak Iowa at 9?
It's got to be, right? Maybe Oklahoma State might have had a run in there in the 30s or 40s or whatever.
The modern era. Yeah.
During the Depression.
I can't
Yeah.
attest.
We were also looking at like the early 2000s when Oklahoma State was on their run, and they won like every tournament 4 years in a row by 40 or 50 points. And I wasn't a college wrestling fan then, but I feel like at that time, it probably felt
It did.
similar, where it's like, this is never going to end.
Yeah.
These guys are so good. And, that's where we're at now. And Penn State, they've raised the bar, and we saw it in the early 2010s. And it's like, okay, then Ohio State found a way to get there. And then Iowa found a way to get there. And now it feels like, okay, Oklahoma State's going to find it. It just feels like, okay, someone's going to get one. But maybe, I don't know.
Maybe
not.
But now it feels like back then, you know, I'm going to throw like a program under the bus, but another Big Ten
Minnesota.
Blue Blood, Minnesota, could put together a team and win. And maybe even win like, you know, a back-to-back because they brought in 2 good classes. It doesn't feel like you can do that anymore. Like it almost feels like it has to be Oklahoma State.
All right, get your questions.
Okay, we have a lot of questions. I don't know how long we can go today. We have a lot of people watching. We can go long. Wow. First time in the studio.
Yeah.
Special day.
Can't go too long. I do have a flight to catch.
What time's your flight?
2:50.
All right, we got time.
Come on.
All right. Okay, first question from our poor boy. The Real Slink. Personal favorite Cinderella run in NCAA history?
Personally, the Zeke Moisey one stands out to me. One, because I wrote an article where I basically and say he's gonna make the finals, but he was one of my
Your dark horses.
I
Yeah.
felt kind of smart when that happened, but it was kind of crazy. It's he had a really tough path. He had to beat Nashon in the round of 16, and then Eddie Clamara, who he was 0-3 against, and then he beat Thomas Gilman by pin. That was insane because you get some finalists where, okay, he things that fall conveniently, but he made them fall. So that was a crazy one.
Jason Surtis sticks out to me. I know it wasn't entertaining.
That's my least favorite.
I know it was an entertaining one, but I didn't. That one was not on my
I think a
radar.
lot of people thought he would win. Zeke Moisey was pretty out of nowhere.
Who did?
Kyle Cannell was a big one when he
Kyle
beat.
That's what I
Cannell.
was going to say. That was my first NCAA tournament that I went to
Really?
in person. It was what? This is insane. So
Who did Ronnie Perry beat to make the NCAA finals against Zane?
It was the UNC kid maybe.
Ronnie Perry beat I have it right now.
Sorensen.
He beat Sorensen, Surtsis,
Right.
Kolodzik. That's a pretty good run.
That's a crazy run.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Who's the UNC guy that year?
The UNC guy was Heilman.
Yeah.
He was on the other side of the bracket.
Okay.
He was in the other semi.
He was tough.
NCAA champ run. That no one saw coming for me. Drew Foster. Shout out Drew Foster.
Oh,
That was
That's my
crazy.
boy.
Yeah.
Miles was such a big favorite that year. Yep. So those are some of our personal favorites.
there you go. All right, next question. A JB interview got me thinking. This is from Matt Moran. With new grounding rules, don't you think JB should give it one more go?
So, always think he should give it one more go. But the new grounding rules. So I actually there was a video Casey Brennan Gessel did. He's the top official USA. He's a top UWW official, explaining grounding and some the new rule changes without making too freestyle centric. You can't just drop to your knees anymore and get pushed out of bounds. So I think there's going to be a lot of ones given up. I don't know. I don't really view this as something that. This was a very chance-specific challenge he faced. It wasn't something that was a big theme for his career challenge. It's certainly something that people would use against him, but I don't think this changes things for him all that much. I think it's going to help someone like Yazdani a lot. But whatever Jordan's doing, I'm excited to watch it. I'll say that.
It's funny. We were talking in the office the other day, and I think it was Tyler that was just refusing to believe that anybody in America at 74 or 79 would beat Jordan right now.
Even today.
He would win 79. And I was like, well, okay. You think he'd beat Levi Haynes? Yeah, for sure he'd beat Levi. And then, what about 74? Yeah, he'd beat David Carr. Yeah, he'd beat he's just so confident in
I'm not mad at that.
Jordan. It's great. There's some good Cinderella runs in the chat. Cody Brewer from Burkhawk.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great one.
That was a crazy one.
Larry Steele says Quentin Wright. And then 205 David says Keyshawn Clark. All good suggestions.
ones.
Yep.
Even though those are broke boy contributions. So
That's what, yeah,
we'll read those fast.
Yep. All right, 3-point takedown. What is an acceptable amount of, he says
Kales.
Carl's cookies, but it's Kale's cookies, to eat in one sitting? Serious question. If you could pick one wrestler and one coach to spend the day with, but not talk any wrestling or 5-minute max, who would you choose and why?
Kale's cookie, I think one is more than two. You're starting to get into meal replacement territory. I don't think that's what it's intended for. I think you go with one, and then you got to show some discipline beyond that. I don't know. I find Kale mysterious, and I would want to get to know him more.
Can't ask wrestling questions.
That's okay.
You just play zombies the entire day?
Yeah, I'd be like, what's this dude like?
What about a wrestler?
A wrestler? I don't know.
W. I'm going fishing with W.
Oh,
Okay. He former wrestler. Current wrestler, I don't know. But
think of the stories you could get, but non-wrestling.
true. I'm just saying,
I don't know who's just.
John Smith seems like a
Would be an easy hang. Maybe I should play Fortnite with Dean Peterson.
I would just
Me, Sweet Prince, Caleb, and Dean just get on some squads.
I would just beat Zach Ray in ping pong over and over again, and then
Well, that's what I want to do.
Nikki just said in our ear, AJ Ferrari is the only right answer.
I did
He
that.
did that. so,
Yeah.
JD's been there, done that. It sounds exhausting.
Yeah. Any other wrestler who thinks they can beat me in ping pong, I would choose you as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that would be fun just to play ping pong all day. With someone that's a better athlete than you, but you're just better
You
at
just
ping
beat
pong.
him in ping pong.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
Kozak Supreme.
Producer Greg, remember he thought he could actually.
Oh my gosh.
He actually thought, and we were so arrogant about it. We're like, "There's no chance you can beat us, Greg," and then we just throttled him. And he's listening to us say that right now, and he can't do anything
Big
about
G
it.
just catching it straight.
He just got to accept it right now.
Public.
He said he's ending the stream. Oh boy.
He's getting the stream.
All right. CJ Kemp, is this the year Iowa's finalist streak ends, or do Angelo and Caliendo pull it off?
Every year's the year the streak ends, and then it doesn't end. So no.
It won't end till it ends.
And Drake probably won't make the finals, but he should be mentioned because he's done it twice.
Yeah. All right, Tyler Perry. What's the best non-Big Ten weight? Big 12's 157, ACC 149, or other?
I'd put Big 12 157 is in the conversation for all. I mean, that top four, put it against the Big Ten top four. It's competitive, guys, because 157 is the best weight. This is what you have. You have two mega conferences. I think 49 ACC is great, but I don't see the title contenders there like I do at Big 12 157. High pedigrees, high point scoring potential, varied styles. I love Big 10, Big 12 157. Big 12 157 is going to be more entertaining than Big 10.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Cannon could create some chaos.
Cannon could.
Yeah. All right, next question from Joe Gergente. Which matchup has been more one-sided? Mitchell versus Caliendo or Sion versus pronouncing names?
Sion versus names, because that rivalry goes way before
Yeah.
Caliendo Mitchell.
This is back when Mitchell and Caliendo were, wrestling, 5U brackets. Sion had no idea how to say Kyler Sanderson's name. These are challenges that predate their own existence.
And they will go on far after the
Oh.
Mitchell-Caliendo rivalry is over.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right, Shocked FRL. I tried unsuccessfully to clip it, but has Kozak considered Broke Boys by Drake, clean version, of course, hook it as the intro to Broke Boys questions from friends? You know what? I don't know this song.
We can't do it because we would get demonetized
Okay.
on YouTube because Drake owns the rights.
We're allowed to use like any portion?
I think you can use several seconds.
Okay.
So maybe if we just get like a soundboard soundbite,
Do that?
maybe.
Okay.
I can get in the lab maybe and cook a little bit.
All right.
We'll see.
Let's not get demonetized.
Yeah.
I do not want to get demonetized.
You know what?
Because
I'm more.
that puts our super chats in jeopardy.
It's true.
That's true. Yeah. You got to think about that. All right. Next question from F Footballer. Why did they change the Pac-12 to a Friday start? That was the best Thursday event ever.
I don't know, because I remember last year they're like, we're sticking with this. This is great. We feel like, this has putting us a real spotlight on the conference. And then they moved it for Friday. I'm not sure why.
I'll be boots on ground there, so I'll get to the bottom of this. I'm guessing probably scheduling conflict with some other Cal Poly event going on in arena, if I had to guess, but I don't know.
Maybe
Come on, Mustangs.
Maybe like midterm exams or something. I don't know. Okay.
Could be.
let's see, what is this name? Grab a drink and get ready for live.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Okay.
That's so funny. That's what
Oh,
I get it. That's every practice.
yep. Okay. Can you talk which conference do true seconds and the reasoning for the ones that don't do them?
So essentially, it's not a conference thing. It depends on the weight class. So if you have two qualifiers for the weight, and after the finals happen, the loser could have to wrestle for that true second match if they didn't wrestle the guy that got third.
Because theoretically, you both lost to the champion. Who's the better between you two?
Let's find out.
Correct.
Like Pac-12 had a few true seconds
Yep.
last year.
And Big Ten will do true 9th place matches sometimes. So
They create like a whole other bracket
Yeah.
for that.
right, because you have to.
Wasn't there a year when Big 12s wasn't going to do true matches?
And then they did. Who left the
did them?
arena? It was,
It was
the
West Virginia
guy
Yeah.
in Lamont, I think. Yeah, the Utah Valley kid.
yeah.
Yeah, the Big 12, listen, guys, Big 12 makes up rules on the fly. They have done this consistently. There's
Weigh-in rules.
weigh-in rules, the true whatever rules. They literally will just change the rules, not like before the tournament. As the tournament's happening, it's not good. And if you wonder why you're seeing some teams maybe leaving the Big 12, look no further than that.
Foreshadowing?
That's happening. There's Big 12 teams that are leaving the Big 12. And that kind of stuff, it does not endear you to wanting to stay in a conference.
Elder Brad says E EIWA doesn't do true seconds.
No matter what.
That's what he said. I don't know. We need Spay. Spay was in the chat earlier. We need EIW
He's
Spay.
probably in a lounge.
His flight left at 10, I think, he said.
Okay. All right.
Although, you can get on internet on most planes now.
Those planes,
All
especially
right.
the ones he flies.
Yeah.
Rob at
You know
Pretty
he's not
Rob.
flying Spirit.
No way.
No. Okay. Can you talk to Shane Sparks about having Mattcast at Nationals include riding time? Only bad thing about Mattcast. We'll talk to Shane.
Yeah, we'll talk to him. I'll see him this weekend. I'm sure it's not his choice to not have it.
Yeah.
No, this is on Sparky.
Yeah, it's his Shane's choice. None of their business.
Extreme ownership guy. You know? Okay. Don Martin. What does Gabe Arnold place at 197?
He may not.
Do Big Tens and
Are we talking Big Tens or
both.
NCAAs?
Do both.
Fifth, round of 12.
He could be higher in the Big Ten.
Give me
He's
third,
really good.
third, and seventh. Seventh at NCAA.
I'm leaning more third.
I like this.
197 is just not deep.
I think Gabe is built to win at 197. You know, I think he's gonna frustrate a lot of guys, and I think
Yeah.
he's gonna score. I think he's gonna do it. He's good on bottom.
He is good underneath.
All right.
I hope he does. Just the way he's been such a team player this year.
For sure.
He's an easy guy to root for.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Unless
Virginia,
you love high volume attackers. Then it could be tough sometimes.
It might be tough.
biggest upgrade in the new studio from Virginia's for FRL.
I do love the aesthetic. I think it looks really cool in here, but I think, honestly, the HDMI is probably the biggest one.
HDMI.
We're functionality.
More functionality. Yeah, I think Collins might be. It might be the same. I don't know.
I mean, look, even the setup for us,
Yeah.
we can just see so much better. There's big screens all over the place.
Yeah, it's good. There's so many TVs.
Yeah,
My dad would love this.
Look at, oh,
Dad
yeah,
loves
we're
TVs.
getting the zoom now.
Look at that.
Look at this.
But if you could see from my perspective, you could really see.
Mm-hmm.
I got 5 TVs in my periph.
I'm also, personally, we don't have a lot of AC in here. It's built for audio.
Yes.
So when we were in the lobby, I would have to go mess with audio afterwards to
Yeah.
make sure you didn't hear a hum going on in post if you're a Spotify.
Yeah, it's not 62 degrees in here. It's comfy.
I wish it was.
No. This was always our fight back at
It's too warm in here now.
At Springdale, I would
Christian cranks it hot.
I
Trying
would
to sweat me out. He's putting me on the hot seat.
100%. I want to be warm. JD likes it cool. That's how you know we're supposed to do the show together. like the married couple.
Well,
version.
and I think on underrated thing. This is something that people were pointing out early. JD with a table, he's got the old pen and paper out now. He's taking notes.
I am,
old
yes.
school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Specifically, so
That's good.
that's good. Look
Great
at him.
great feature.
I like having this table.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, the mic gave it something to do, but sometimes I'm like Ricky Bobby. I didn't know what to do with my hands.
I like where I can put the mic too. This is probably getting bad. Sorry, dudes. You asked.
Yeah.
That was a poor boy question too.
Yeah, the people want to know. They want to know. They care about us. You know,
Yeah.
they're interested in
We
us.
appreciate that.
They're interested in us as a people, not just
Yeah.
faces on a screen. So that's what we care about. Thank you for the question. All right, Rob, another pretty Rob question. Is everyone sleeping on Luke Stanich? Could he possibly upset Mendez?
I mean, I think he's super good. I think there's a relative level of consciousness, an appropriate level of consciousness on Luke Stanich. Like,
I feel like it's cooled this year because he hasn't wrestled a full schedule.
I think it's cool because of Mendez. Honestly,
yeah,
I think
that's
coming
a little
into this
fair.
year, Luke won U20s. He looked so awesome. We're like, he could make things interesting at 141. Then Jesse leveled up to a point we'd never seen him get to. And he's already a two-time champ, but we're like, okay, no one's beating this guy. I think that's what's happened more than Luke hasn't been in the streets. That definitely contributing, but I think more than anything, Jesse's been so excellent, and Sergio Vega, right? So I think if Luke wins and Sergio wins, and let's say Jesse beats Brock, what does that top four look like? Do we get 2-3 Vega Stanich? Will Luke have done enough to get the...
Go in the Matrix, Kozak.
I don't know.
Calculate it.
I think as a conference champ winning percentage, I think he probably jumps to the 3, my opinion.
Okay, so are there any other outside like 41s in other conferences?
No.
Okay. So the question is, you're talking about Mendez, and I get it, but he has to beat Vega too first. And that's I'm a guy that attacks as much as Luke. That's a challenge because Sergio is just
Or Echemandia. Don't write off Anthony Echemandia.
I agree.
That match was super close.
I mean, Etch could 100% beat Luke too.
Yeah. Echemandia winning Big 12s would really throw a wrench into a lot of
So that's what
things.
we're rooting for. If you want to make John and JD's life harder, root for Echemandia.
Well, I don't think it makes my life harder,
Oh.
but the seeding, like for seeding
Right.
purposes, because then Echemandia probably goes to the 2. Does Vega will be the 3 ranked, but seeding wise, will Vega be bumped down to the 4? Will Stanich be? Yeah, like that's where it gets goofy, to where you could see Luke as the 3 and then Vega as the 4, which, maybe for like NCAA semis, like the matches you want to see Jesse Mendez wrestle Sergio Vega.
At some point.
Yeah.
We need it.
So you'd almost want him to see him wrestle Stanich and Vega at NCAAs. You don't want to all see him on
Right.
the bottom side. And we've seen Mendez Echemandia twice already now, so kind of root for one of those guys at the 4.
Let's go.
Okay. All right, another question. Sorry, I didn't get it ready. All right. If I told you one of these 3 got majored in the finals and there was no injury in the match, which would you say it was? Mitchell, Levi, or Barr?
Majored.
Mitchell.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
Blaze turned him.
Wow.
yeah.
I don't know. Something crazy happened. Mitchell created chaos. Blaze caught him on his back, held him there, and then was able to ride him for a long period of time to avoid Mitchell from storming back. That would be my prediction.
Cool.
Because I think the way Minto or whoever would come out at 174, I feel like that's not the way they beat Levi.
All right, I like this question.
I love this
From
one.
Dan Kelly. Help, in all caps. We got to figure out who in the group gets the lower bowl tickets in Cleveland. We got 3 up top, 3 down low. My thought was some sort of Big Ten fantasy confidence draft pick 'em. Thought or ideas on how to settle this?
This is perfect. Get in one of the Big 10 or Big 12 conference pick'ems and WrestleStat or Madness. I do Madness. And say, hey, all 5 of us are going to enter. Top 2 finishers get the lower bowl. That's how you do it.
That's one way.
That's a meritocracy.
I need to see where exactly these tickets are at. Sometimes, like, lower bowl is great, but if you're like row 1, 2, all the way down on one end of the mat, it can be tough to see.
I think the
across.
understanding is the lower bowls, because they know where they are.
Yeah.
The lower bowls are better.
Here's my thought in this. All right, so I like the idea of fantasy, that whole thing. But if you guys are all similar like athletes, I say we do some kind of athletic competition. You know,
Yeah.
we've seen like the 40-yard dash for fantasy football drafts. Maybe put a little wrestling spin on it. Maybe we do like a riding time competition. You know, something or first takedown.
Takedowns?
Yeah, like maybe a little takedown competition. Make it a physical competition.
Physical
I
challenge.
think that would be fun. And then record it for us.
Yes.
Okay.
Let us know what you decide.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. I had a lozenge in my pocket just in case. Guys, sometimes you got to play hurt. It's March.
Yep.
I got my right eye's leaking. It's okay.
All right. We talked about this. Does Mitchell walk out to Jealous for the finals? I think if he doesn't, it's a miss. Or
His own.
his own music. That's the only other
Mitchell
acceptable
mix.
I don't know what he comes out to during duels.
I don't know.
Man, they got the zoom in on your face there. You're
Yeah.
struggling.
That's 100% Nikki doing that. I'm telling you right now.
All right. Indiana Wrestling. Most likely Big Ten finalists seated below 5th other than Angelo. Cannon.
Yeah. That's my answer.
Oh, we got a super chat. I didn't check the YouTube chat in a while. No question. Just keep up the awesome in-depth coverage.
Man.
Sending love from St. Louis. You guys rock. This is from Mark Quinton.
St. Louis, that means Emo's Pizza. You can probably get 10 Emo's Pizzas for $15.
All right. Let me get back to the questions. Man, we have so many more questions, and it's already 10:43.
It's okay.
Okay. If seeds hold to pre-seeds, does Iowa get a Big Ten finalist? Peterson would need to go through Lilidal. Ayala would need to beat Blaze. Caliendo would have to beat Blaze. Kennedy would have to beat Haynes. Ferrari would have to beat Welsh.
All these blazes.
I know, too many Blazes.
Yeah, they'll get one.
They'll get one.
My money's on either Angelo or Caliendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like they both have about an equal shot.
All right. Breaking for Iron. How ironic is forcing Indine out now, given the sad state Iowa's in? Could he have wrestled by now, given his injury? Ferrari out just as long. No?
Well, I think those situations aren't remotely similar. There was a lack of,
Communication.
what'd you say?
Communication?
Communication, follow through is what it sounds like for on the Indine side when he got injured, and I don't think this situations are they didn't kick Indine off the team because he was hurt.
They knew their backup situation at 197.
Yeah,
This was not, yeah.
yeah,
There was stuff that could not be repaired.
yeah. Something happened.
Okay. All right. Ethan Webb. So with all the criticism around the way refs have been calling things differently this year, have you guys considered having a ref in to some shows to talk about these calls? Man, sorry. I was a first-year ref this year and was thinking maybe that could provide some well-needed insight.
So I like this idea. The challenge here is if you get an active official on there, you're questioning your colleagues. If you get someone in authority, then you've got someone basically saying, "Hey, the guys we managed made a call that was wrong." I don't think that's a bad thing.
You just hide their identity.
It's like one of those black screens and you change their voice so they have to do it like this.
This is a takedown.
Yeah, I would like to do it.
It's just
Maybe
Sion.
I'll talk with. Yeah, it's just Sion. No, the picture. It's just like a picture of Sion, and then it's just another voice that just throws you off. I would like to do this.
I've always said that is, it's kind of similar to the Brands article, like some clarity, some communication. Just that's what a lot of fans want is like, hey, what are you thinking in this? Why did this official make this call? And if it is correct, why is it correct, even though we think it is not correct, or vice versa?
I think having a senior ranking official or someone that one of the officials that evaluates others. I think that's, in my opinion, should be the move, because in the hierarchy of refs, like, you should want to know like what the best guys are thinking.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I haven't thought of that at all.
Maybe our friend Mike McCormick just ends up being getting a weekly
Weekly segment.
weekly correspondent. Mike, what do you think?
Okay. All right. This isn't a question, but Mr. Russian Tide did not believe that we'd be in the new studio.
Ah, joke's on you.
We got you. All right. Next question from Jared Jensen. Do you think this seeding formula will be best going forward? Could you imagine coaches trying to seed this year's bigs? Also, why are coaches so upset about the seeds? They had the criteria at the beginning of the year.
Very true. And Tom kind of said that. He's like, you know what? We voted for it, so we get it. No, they won't use this going forward, I don't imagine. Imagine coaches trying to seed it. That's basically what's happened in the past, and they don't want to do that, but they also don't want this.
Yeah. Jay Moss, what place will the Ferrari brothers finish?
I think you could say could have both in the finals, but
I'm going to say both end up in the
Third.
3-4 slot.
yeah.
I think you
split.
guys are forgetting one Ferrari brother.
Correct.
Freight train, baby.
Who I did not even think was going to wrestle in the postseason, but he is in SoCon.
Yep.
There you go.
So
I wonder, okay, one thing we haven't talked about, maybe we got a question about it, but, you know, at Big Tens especially, you see a lot of the sit-outs after you get to the qualification. Will we see that? So that's one thing with Angelo.
right.
Does he forfeit out of the semis once he's got an auto spot? Iowa has done that in the past, and I wouldn't put it past it happening to them or another team. I hope not. And it hurts your seed, but at this point, that's a secondary consideration.
Okay. I was responding to
Brace yourselves.
I know. I hope it doesn't happen.
people were asking for Tyler and Ollie as a guest on the show, and somebody asked about Tyler's bear crawl record and how
You guys are phony.
he has been lifting heavy. He's strong.
He is
But
strong.
Maybe he's
He-
building his base.
He's going to be training with Nolf for his Sal Kazanov match, which is good.
Tyler's wrestling a Sulk?
Yeah, I think actually Jason is.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's a
okay.
miscommunication.
Is Tyler? Hey, did we bully Tyler into wrestling at Masters?
It sounds like he's thinking about it more and more. Dude,
It's so funny how he
Devin
flipped.
Barr, the guy we
know.
talked about, DM'd him. He's like,
Oh, yeah?
Be like, you won't run it.
We should catch people up. So Tyler, we've been trying to bully Tyler into wrestle at Masters Nationals. Christian bullied him so hard that he went live on YouTube. That was like his his tactic there. And Tyler's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it unless you do it, Christian. I'm not doing it. You know, and then slowly he starts to loosen up a little. He's like, well, I got to train. You know, I'm not wrestling as much. And then me and Bader, we're training. And immediately that night, Tyler's like, yeah, I'll train. I'll come. You know, he wrestled pretty hard that night.
Yeah.
And now it sounds like the wheels are in motion here.
I
So
would love it. He needs to go up and train with Jason.
yeah. Okay.
Jason,
He doesn't like driving that far north.
Lord forbid, this
Yeah.
generation. At 8, they practice at 8:00. It's not that traffic's not that bad at that hour.
Yeah, he'd be fine. All right, crosshairs. Looking back, which loss is the most shocking? Bresser over Lee, Venz over Brooks, Lewis over Zahid, Zerbin over Levi.
Vins over Brooks is not that shocking, considering Aaron was a true freshman then. Bresser over Lee, I think it's that one.
Yeah. Spencer, true freshman. Was that at Midlands?
Yes,
Yeah.
semis.
Yeah, knowing it's funny reading this like with Zahid's losses this year.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, sometimes just don't get the best version of Zahid.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
So
That didn't happen that much in college, though.
no, it didn't. All right, Justin Street. Not a question, but Grundy Wrestling Club needs a shout out on FRL. Virginia record holder for state titles with 28 sadly came to an end last weekend as they are consolidating schools and becoming Southern Gap High.
That's true.
Wow.
Grundy, legendary program. Kevin Dresser brought them to prominence, and they've continued to be a dominant force in way southwest Virginia. Justin Street was a boss for Grundy back in the day. Not that long ago. I was coaching then. So, yeah, shout out Grundy, the Golden Wave, I believe. We Golden Wave goodbye to Grundy, but I'm sure Southern Gap will keep the tradition going.
Now, is Buffalo Gap part of this or no?
Buffalo Gap competed against Grundy the last couple of years.
No, are they
the same
are they
gap.
joining Southern?
No. These gaps couldn't be. They're very far apart. It's
A lot of,
four
lot of
hours.
gaps.
You know how many gaps are between Southern Gap and Buffalo Gap?
No.
No, I don't.
Tons. Got to be tons. It's all these mountains.
Okay. All right.
Is that what gap refers to? Is in between
Yeah.
little valleys?
Okay. All right. Nicholas Croninger, I'm not anti-algorithm and understand it saves coaches time and removes a perception of bias. Even if the algorithm is improved, it won't be perfect and will still require reseeding. Is it even cost effective? Would it be cheaper to hire somebody to seed these small tourneys?
I don't even think you have. A lot of people do it for. I think there's people on the Big 12 seating committee. I don't think they're paid, so I don't think it's a money thing. I think it's easy to hide behind just an algorithm and say no humans touch this, but there's nothing wrong with humans. Humans will do a better job than the algorithms. I'd say, always.
Yeah. Okay. Man, a lot of Big Ten seeding questions here. Jacob Smith, why does the Big Ten seem to shoot itself in the foot every postseason? First, it's forfeits out of control. Now it's an embarrassing set of seeds. Isn't this the same conference filled with the greatest wrestlers, teams, and minds in college wrestling?
Greatest minds, I don't know. I think these things are not related. The forfeits can be out of control at times, but I don't think that's related. I think those things are not connected. And I think the forfeits aren't as bad now as they probably were 3-4 years ago. So, yeah, it's nothing related to the Big Ten. Big Ten's the best.
And I think the seeding, the problem was inadvertently caused because they were trying to solve a solution to guys sitting out of duels.
Right.
And still having high seeds. So they're trying to make it better.
And it will continue to get better.
And yeah, they're gonna. I believe they're gonna fix it. So yeah, we'll be all right. All right, info wrestling. Oklahoma State over under 5 champs at Big 12s.
Man, that's a lot of champs. See,
25.
25, 33, 41.
Not 33 anymore. Oh, never mind.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. 33.
Percentage went up.
41. Yeah.
Could win 49. They could win 57. They could win 65. 74. Man. I'm going to say over.
Okay. How many do you think they get?
25, 33. I feel 41, 57, 65, and then some combination of 74, 49. And heavyweight. Not heavyweight.
You said.
Not heavyweight.
97, Merrill. That was close. Was
Outside.
Rocky.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, a few more questions. Taylor Matthews, 02. Did your son get himself some cowboy gear at Oklahoma State Iowa duel, or is he staying loyal?
He didn't get any cowboy gear at all. He was neutral in his attire, however. You know, he was just wearing like his wrestling stuff. He wasn't.
He didn't even go with the Hawkeyes.
I mean, he's still, you know.
Now, I want to say this is before Caleb was a state placer, so he may not have been on David Taylor's radar yet. You know, if David Taylor, if he wants to think about recruiting the next generation, I think that's where he's got to start.
It could be it.
You know?
It could be it. That's what I told him. I was like, hey man, now you're being high school next year. You know, you don't want to shut any doors, so
Yeah.
be a little more
There you go.
neutral.
There you go. Did you talk about how Caleb Piles is a state placer?
Yeah, I did
That's
not.
huge.
That
Yeah.
was awesome. Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, obviously, I approach Caleb's wrestling, at least knowing about the guys with similar nerddom, and so I knew all the guys pretty well, and we'd wrestled a lot of them, so I kind of knew where we stood, and I thought it would have to be probably our best day to place, and he had to beat 2 guys that beat him in January to get on the podium, and just where he's come from last year, it's been awesome to see. Like, he's had to work a lot harder. He's been way more dedicated. You know, I'm breaking news here. He has officially quit baseball, which is insane. If you know Caleb Piles, he's baseball obsessed. He still loves baseball, but
Has not quit fantasy draft baseball.
no, no. He's still in all fantasy sports, and you can see plenty of sports content on Sports Dubs. Which he just went over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Ooh, boom, boom, boom.
Hit a 400,000 video, but no,
Big month for him.
it's been awesome to see him. I feel like, his excitement for the sport is hitting at like the perfect time.
Very cool.
So it's been great.
It's awesome.
All right. Name cannot be blank. Are you guys upset about clavicular getting mogged by the ASU frat leader?
So I don't know what this
I don't
means.
know what this means either.
Okay,
JD.
dang it.
Can you help us here?
AJ or JD?
Unfortunately, I kind of know what this means.
Let's go.
Because you have to be very much online, and I am online more than I would care to be. But so it's this guy. So like Maxine is a thing now. Looks Maxine. Mm-hmm. Where basically you just alter your face and stuff. And mogging is when you alpha somebody.
So someone said that Caleb mogged me in a picture at Oklahoma
Yes,
State.
he was alphaing you.
Dang it.
And so basically this guy alphaed an ASU frat dude.
Okay, so he just
That sticks into my knowledge. I do not care to go deeper.
okay.
I don't want to go into those depths of
Is this
the
him?
internet.
I don't know who clavicular is.
This guy?
I think he's some sort of
him?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Okay, so you're not online.
I'm not that online. I am only
That
online.
looks like a
enough to
fake
know.
picture.
Well, that's part of what Looks Maxine is.
Oh, okay.
This is a weird world. Okay.
Yeah, it's getting weirder, boys.
Okay. All right. All right. I think we got 2 or 3 more questions.
Okay.
Landon Rabadoo Lover. CP, I know that you were in Stillwater a few weeks ago. Aside from going to the duel and Hatch, did you do anything else cool?
We went to the farm, which was really cool. I had never, I knew about it and got to go. Coleman showed me around there, and very impressive facility. Had like 150. The bunk beds were just going in the bunk room was the most insane thing.
So many bunks?
Just how many bunks? Just
I got to check that out.
you gotta check it out.
For my own house.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you got your own farm going.
Your own barracks.
No, really cool place. Yeah, so that was a neat thing to check that out. Caleb got to wrestle there with one of the local Oklahoma kids, which is awesome. And Coach Hensley put them through a private, which is cool. No, man, it was just business. We were working in the spare time. We got Connor Petros, the Sweet Prince, hooked on Fortnite. That was fun. And but other than that, it was just work.
Yeah. All right.
Connor becomes an addict. This is on you.
I know.
He just doesn't do any more work and just plays Fortnite.
Yeah,
all day, every day.
But he grinds. Connor even told me one time, like me and Caleb were on, and we asked him, he's like, no, I gotta get this Drayshawn Ross video up. So that's discipline.
Yeah.
true.
It was funny coming back. And then, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before in the office, you guys just started going deep into like Fortnite guns and like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this now. This is part of
It's
office
crazy.
conversation. Yeah. All right, Matt Burke. When can FRL have Jason Knopf on again? I'm sure he's busy. He's a busy guy, but please ask him to come on soon. Y'all have a great time, and he tells cool stories when he's on.
Yeah, we do need to have him on. Last time I talked to him about, he's like, me and Caleb need to do a show together. I don't know about that. It's not a good idea. But with Jason, that would be a very good idea. So yeah, we should. Maybe after conferences.
I wonder if Jason's going to NCAAs.
He wants to, I know, because he wanted me to help getting him a pass.
Oh, okay.
Like Sion, who came up to us Monday, is like, give me a pass for Big Tens. Like, I just hold those. I was like, no.
Okay.
Last one.
Last one. This is from the real Avery Lynch and OG. What meals would you love delivered to you hot and fresh today? And he says, I'll go first. D2X8.
D.
So he went French toast, burger, steak, and blueberry pie.
Okay. I want C, eggs and bacon with that toast.
Yep, I'm going
was good.
C.
I want,
hash
Here's the thing. If I'm just going off this picture, I'm going 4 with the Reuben.
Ooh,
Normally I would go burger, but that burger looks so plain, so much bun.
I love a good Reuben.
But I love a good Reuben.
you know what? I can honestly say to you, my friends, I've never had a Reuben in my life.
Really? That's a great sandwich.
I'm going to have one. I'm going.
We're going
for
to
it.
change your life.
I'm going for it. I would go steak. All the chicken or the roasted turkey looks
Yeah,
good.
I'd go
Then
steak.
French silk pie for sure. No one can
No,
make.
blueberry.
I like okay, if this is Gigi Davis's blueberry pie or my mother-in-law, Suzanne, then I trust it. But in all likelihood, they're not gonna make it right. French silk, less likely. So if it's best case scenario, it's blueberry.
Okay.
All right. Well, only a half hour over. We won't normally do this, but we appreciate the
Big show.
The big show, you know?
Stu
What's a half
conference
hour?
weekend
Yeah, absolutely. So we are gone. We're out of here. We're back Monday.
at 3 p.m. Central Time.
You didn't know that, did you guys?
Good scheduling out. I almost forgot to say it.
3 Central. We want to thank our friends at Nike Wrestling. Go to athleteps.com. Make sure you're checking out getting some shoes for the postseason. Or maybe, you know what? Postseason didn't go your way. You need some fresh kicks,
Some freestyle kicks.
some freestyle kicks, some freak style.
Oh,
How about that? That's just off the dome. Thank you to John Kozak, JD Rader, everyone in the producers booth, which is probably Nikki, Amanda, Greg, and maybe even Lou, and maybe even Byron. We don't know who all's in there, but I think I thanked them all, everyone I saw today. Thanks for the new studio, and we will see you Monday. Stay tuned on Flow Wrestling. So much conference content. PIW. We didn't even talk about Harry Bassett. I knew we were going to forget this. Dang it.
mention it.
PIAA's Bo Bassett versus Brant Harrer, Collision Course, Pennsylvania Finals. Clip this out so I don't feel bad about forgetting this because this is an epic, epic matchup. Thanks. See you guys. I knew.